Hi, welcome to a video made by a blind person. Yeah, too blind to care what the visuals look like. I'm one of your patients, and I have a appointment next Thursday for dental work that can wait, but I just lost a big chunk of tooth. I'm not waiting 8 days to get that taken care of. Do you have access to your calendar? Is there any way we can squeeze me in? Okay, I'll plan on that. Thank you. I will get paratransit arranged and get in there. Thanks. This is not me putting my best voice or best mouth forward. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe I can tell because I guess it is true that my sense of hearing might be a little bit more, I don't know, fine-tuned than others, or it might just be because I'm the one that it's happening to, and maybe it's one of these things that when you're the person that it's happening to, it's worse for you than it seems to everyone else. But, yeah, this is a problem that I haven't had for quite a while, but I'm going to give you a little history here. Years ago, in fact, circa 87, here I am, Envy 87. I was not born in 87. I thought 87 was, like, one of the best years, because I guess I thought it was, like I said, it was one of the best times of my life so far. And I don't know, I don't remember exactly, obviously, what date this was. It could have been 87, it could have been 88. It was somewhere in that area. I'm being a fearless, I don't know, don't think about what might happen kid, I guess. And I found myself, I don't know, something was wrong. And I went to my mother, showed her, she's like, you got a broken tooth. We gotta get you to the dentist in the morning. And we did. And that was the beginning of a saga that I've had with this tooth. Many re-breaks over the years. Although it's been a good, probably 10 years. Up until today, it had been a good 10 years since the last time this happened. I probably should have seen this coming. I should have known better than to, well, I mean, I've eaten plenty of Snickers, but that one, maybe it's the fact that I use that tooth and, you know, so often I'm careful about not using that tooth because, of course, it's got to be like the front, you know, it can't be one of these back, never used teeth. It has to be one of the main biting teeth. But, yeah, if I get careless with it, if I don't remember, okay, try to not bite with that, this happens. And I'm going to have to go to the dentist tomorrow. A week before I had an appointment for something else that just came up on x-ray that the dentist said we should probably get that taken care of. But you may have seen the picture by now. I actually think I'm going to call Ira tonight and have a picture taken of me. This screwy, toothless grin. Well, not completely toothless, but you can tell. You can tell. Look at your screen. This is the Tunes to Tube video, which means the whole time this picture is going to be on the screen. Look at your screen. Yeah, imagine how that must feel. I'm not waiting a week to get that taken care of. But as much as abnormal as this feels, and as much as I never like it when this happens, and as weird as I sound, certainly to myself, and maybe even to you, listening to me, there is some positives in this. If it had to go down, better that it go down on a Wednesday. I wish getting a hold of the dentist wouldn't have been such an interesting endeavor. I'll talk more about that later, but it's actually a blessing that it happened on a Wednesday of all days, because getting it taken care of the next day does not involve inquiring of my boss or my coworkers how to go about getting sick time off. I'm leaving early tomorrow, or coming in late tomorrow, or I'm not going to make it in at all. I've got to dental emergency. In this case, if it had been a work day, I probably would have just taken the morning off, or, well, I would have said, I'll be there as soon as I can. I would have probably, based on the, actually, by the end of it, it might have been just as easy to take the whole day off with the paratransit, the way it ended up working. But the point is, it didn't have to come to that. I'm off on Thursdays anyway, so if this had to happen, better for it to happen on a Wednesday and be able to be dealt with on a Thursday, because it's time that I'm not expected to be at work anyway. Whatever, you know, that's my own time. It's sure, I would have rather not have to deal with this, but if I had to deal with it, better that it happened now. As far as getting a hold of what a interesting. So obviously, as soon as I realized what had happened, I was like, okay, well, my first thought was, okay, it's still in my mouth, what I was eating, that this tooth is now probably in. But I didn't swallow it, did I? No, it's still here. Let's take it. Let's. I was able to find it, put it in a Ziploc bag. It started as a
4:21 p.m. One notification.
It started as a chicken bag or a green pepper bag or whatever. Doubles as a tooth bag. Do what you gotta do. Obviously, the first thing I do is call the dentist. And I get the answering machine. And then I stopped and thought about what they were saying. Of course, I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but when you're feeling as off as I was, these notifications, really, as off as I was feeling, I don't know how well I was really thinking, but finally it occurred to me. At first I was like, okay, I'll just hang up and maybe call back. Then I thought, wait a minute, it's Wednesday, they're closed Wednesday, they said. So I call them back, because there was an emergency number. What they have is not an emergency service or an emergency answering service or whatever. They say, if you're calling after hours with a dental emergency, call the doctor, and it gives her cell phone. Okay, fine. But any aspiring doctors that might be watching, or doctors, speaking as a patient who
Facebook.
obviously, good grief. Speaking as a patient, if you're on call and your cell phone number is what patients have got in an emergency kind of situation, please consider having your name on your voicemail. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do an elaborate, this is Dr. So-and-so, and even though I'm on call, I can't take your call. Please leave a message. I'll get back to you, stat, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to go all there. But, okay, I'm kind of hit or miss about leaving voicemails anyway, but I probably would have at least considered leaving a message if I would have heard, please leave a message for Dr. So-and-so, as opposed to that stupid electro voice saying, please leave a message for number. Obviously, it had the numbers in it. Even if I remembered the number right off the top of my head, I wouldn't disclose it. But, you know, if you're a doctor on call, think about having your name on your voicemail. Anyway, I kept hanging up on this voicemail that said, leave a message for this random number that just as easily could have been the right number, and as it turned out was the right number. She finally called back and said, somebody keeps calling from this number. I keep getting a missed phone call. And I said, yeah, I'm calling with a dental emergency, and I didn't know for sure that it was you because there's no name on the voicemail. But since I've reached you, here's the situation. Can you look at your calendar and tell me when you could fit me in? Thank God they had an opening tomorrow.
Please stay on the line. The next available reservationist will assist you. How can I help you?
I'm going to have to cancel everything I've got tomorrow and just rearrange the whole day. I've had an emergency come up, and I've got an appointment to take care of that I've got to have you give me a ride to, and then rearrange the rest of the day based on that.
Okay. So let's go ahead. First of all, we'll just go ahead and cancel the ride. We'll go ahead and do that first.
The first thing we got to do is set up a ride from my place to dental care.
Okay. Just checking your list of frequents. I didn't see it in there. Okay.
No, it's not in there.
530, yeah, 530.
Well, I need to be there by 10:45 a.m. So,
Okay,
whatever.
arriving at 10:45 a.m. Okay, so picking up at dental care not before 12 noon. So the only thing I have is a 12:30 pickup.
Okay, well, I'll just have to take it because
Okay.
the alternative is
All right.
pretty expensive, taking an Uber or
Sure.
something. It felt so weird trying to eat with this messed up. I kept running my tongue over it while I was trying to eat, and I was like, I kept thinking that I was gonna make it worse or something. Okay, it is the next morning. I really should eat something, such as I'm gonna eat right now. If I do, I should. I got like an hour, give or take, before I have to leave, and as challenging as eating was last night, and I don't have the time or desire to really make anything. One of these protein shakes it is. I've got them. I actually was eating them for breakfast at one point, then I switched them to lunch. Then I found out that they've got fiber in them. Fiber is not necessarily something to be avoided, but it is when you take a bunch in at work and then your body goes, okay, opportune time for a break or inopportune time for a break, there's stuff that needs to be expelled. Yeah, that don't need to be going on at work. So before that becomes something that interferes with my level of productivity, I'm going to stop doing that for lunch. The good news is that made me change to something like healthier. It's always healthier to eat meat than it is to drink a protein shake that, you know, they're not necessarily unhealthy, but that did end up leaving me with a bunch of protein shakes that I hadn't drank yet. They're here. I can get them whenever I want to or need to, but yeah, a day like this, this is the time to get them, or to get one of them. I'm not going to drink all of them, but... Wow, the door-to-door transit agency gave me an ETA of 9:39, and 9:39 came pretty fast. Actually, no, it didn't. It's
9:28 a.m.
closer to 9:29, but they're here, and it's still within their window, so I need to get out of here. I actually hope there's a stop or two before I get to my dentist's office. Otherwise, I am definitely liable to be like an hour early for this appointment. Typical door-to-door transit, but... You know, this reminded me of I might link this video in the description box below from the Powell Tribe. There was a little bit of a minor mishap, which fortunately wasn't a big deal. It was, I think she was left feeling a little bit weird, but she still had her teeth. I guess there was a little dental accident the morning of their transfer, IVF transfer, and they came up with this thing. If you're trying to conceive and you're doing an IVF transfer and someone says break your tooth, that, you know, they say break a leg in the theater, which means, you know, good luck out there, you know, do a great job. Well, I guess if someone says break your tooth on transfer day, that's what they mean, because I guess one of them almost got theirs broken, and it wasn't the one that got pregnant, it was the other one, but she wanted to be, you know, in her best possible condition too, and fortunately she didn't end up going to the transfer day with missing teeth. But if I thought I could get away with it, I might put an excerpt of this video in here so that you'd know what I'm talking about. As it is, I think I'm going to try to link it below so that you can watch and see what I'm talking about. But they were on their way to the fertility clinic, and they told this story about how one of them, like, accidentally, in her half-asleep state, kind of nailed the other one in the mouth, and she ended up with these kind of borderline weird feeling teeth. But this whole thing reminded me of that. I'm like, well, she can't be feeling as weird as I'm feeling because she didn't actually lose her teeth, but I probably don't even understand what she went through. But I'm going to watch that again just because, you know, it's just kind of a moment of truth between me and Jamie from the Powell Tribe. In all seriousness though, 32 weeks later? Congratulations, you two. I can't wait to hear more about baby Powell and when he arrives. And in the meantime, while we're stopping somewhere, we're getting close to stopping. I don't know if we're at my place or someone else's. I'm going to pause this and find out. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. It's 10 o'clock and it's not even 10 o'clock. Hi. I know I'm an hour early, but I wanted to at least check in. I've got an 11 o'clock appointment and typical door-to-door transit. They get me here an hour early. Okay, this is going to be one of these story/vlog videos. I cannot just edit all this together and vlog it. It's too complicated. Well, I might be able to edit together a clip of everything, but is it something that I am comfortable putting on YouTube? Or do I just do a story/vlog? Or do I just tell you what's going on? I'm thinking I might just tell you what's going on. Okay, I'm on my way home. If I still sound a little off, it's because I've got a tooth here, but it's still not perfect. It's not going to be perfect until I see a different doctor. The situation is worse than I thought. This tooth has been through a lot, you know, since this whole thing started 30-some years ago. And it's at the point where I guess it's just broken one too many times, and there's nothing that a general dentist can do to repair it to the extent that it really needs to be repaired. I'm going to need oral surgery. I mean, technically, I have a couple of options. I can either get a crown that could last another few years, or I could get what's called an extraction and implant. I'm not sure I understand it all right now, but it's a situation that will last way longer. It's a situation that's meant to last a lifetime, as opposed to spending $700 to $1,300 on something that's only going to last 7 if we're lucky, 13 if we're mega lucky, more years. This is just plain bothersome. Even now it feels weird, but not as weird as it did not having anything there. And, I mean, I want this fixed. I've almost made up my mind. I don't see how it's worth it to spend a bunch of money on something that you know is not going to last. When I've been through enough of this thing for the 30 years since it first got injured. I mean, let's just jump in and get it taken care of once and for all. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope I can end up having the oral surgery soon, and I hope that this mega temporary quick fix holds out that long. In the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe, sign the Do Not Demonetize petition if you feel so moved, and I'll see you for tomorrow's video. Bye.